Hello and welcome to the New York Sports Show. I'm your host, Dominic Konoweski. We have late model driver Ryan Fearn on. Ryan, how are you? And welcome to the New York Sports Show.
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for having me on, Dominic. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. It is an honor to have Ryan here on the podcast. Now, Ryan, you've done so much at Stafford. Haven't been at Stafford too long compared to other late model drivers. But throughout the divisions on your way up to the late models, you've just done terrific work. 15 wins. Do you have a most memorable win?
Yeah, last year it was definitely something else. We kicked off a win finally after a few races or something. Got the car dialed in, and then last week of the season it was like a dream come true there. Ended up edging out my cousin there by like 3/1000 of a second, I think, if my memory serves me right. So I mean that's something that I've always wanted to happen. But I'm also definitely one of the youngest drivers in the late model. I think both in age and in terms of tenure. I think last year there were really only like a couple of rookies or something like that, and my rookie year was 2019. So it's definitely been different in the late model, but hopefully we'll be able to continue the success in 2021.
Yeah, you actually were the 2019 Rookie of the Year for the late model division. Congratulations on that. And going back to that race, you're welcome. Going back to that race, when you battled out with Tom Fearn, like you said, your cousin, that was one of the closest finishes in Stafford Speedway history. Can you take us back to that race on the final lap?
Yeah. I mean, 30-lap race like usual, and then, skipping through all the minutia of the first 29 laps, basically started 17th and just had to pick them off one by one. And when it came down to getting to my cousin's rear bumper, I said, well, I've only got a couple of laps here, but he looks super slow right now. I mean, the poor guy, he'd been struggling with the car all season. We were trying to get him going. I mean, we pretty much run the same stuff across both our cars. It's not like, just because he's Tom, he gets the better motor, or just because, our car owner's my dad, I get the better motor, something stupid like that. We're running equal equipment, but he just wasn't really running too good, and I said, you know what, he taught me how to do this move, I'm going to give him this one. So I messed it up once in 3 and 4, I hit him in the tire, and that got us both all crossed up, and I said, well, I got to do it a little better, so going to 1 and 2 there, get him in a different spot, but he was able to keep a little bit of speed coming out of 2, and I couldn't quite get under there in 3 and 4 again. So I backed out, and there's the white flag, and I said, I really got to do it right this time if I want to try and get the victory here. So it changed the spot again. It got him just loose enough so I could get in, and then I really rolled it on the bottom. Something else that he taught me, ironically there too. So it was just a lot of stuff that he ended up teaching me that helped me get that win.
That is very cool to hear that he was able to teach you that, showing that you were able to master that. Now, you raced at 3 divisions so far at Stafford, the late model being your third, the other 2 being the street stocks and the limited late models. Now, what car do you feel like was the easiest to drive, if there even is an easy car to drive?
The easiest? Usually people ask what the most difficult is, but I guess as far as easiest to drive, I want to say the limited. Especially because back when we were driving those cars, both me and my sister, we had a different tire because somebody had to win 12 races in one season and end up having the tire get changed for both the limited late model and the late model. You can guess who that was, and if you can't guess, it was Tom Fearn. No surprise. I think he won like 12 races in a season or something, and that was the whole reason why they changed the tire rule anyway. So with that tire and with the rules package that the limited late model has compared to both the street stock and the late model, I think that one was probably the easiest. Even going back to when my sister and I both ran in the street stock, I mean, it was called the dare stock at the time. The rules package back then had us on a restrictor plate, but we also didn't have a locked rear, but we also had an automatic transmission. So some things were easier, but some things were also harder. I mean, open rear instead of a locked rear, 7-inch tire. Also, it wasn't the I believe F70 like I was talking about before, as far as the limited late model tire. So yeah, I think that's still where I stand though, is limited late model being the easiest. But it also comes down to, can you race the cars, and that's where most of the difficulty in racing comes from, is learning how to race and not just how to drive.
Yeah, that is so true. A lot of people think driving a race car just involves taking turns, but a lot more goes into it. So thank you for showing us that insight. Now, what are you doing in this off season to prepare for the 2021 season that's coming up in just a few weeks when you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy how I think they were just saying it's less than 100 days at the time of this call here that until we get to the actual racing season. So getting down to a bit of crunch time. We're letting Don Wood do a lot of research, because we just had a new marketing partner come on, Schaefer Oil, actually. They're helping us out with product sponsorship. We're getting free racing oil for the whole season, so that's awesome of them. Just big shout-outs for them helping out our race team this year. And Don Wood's also taken some of that product, the Schaefer Racing Oil, and using that for some dyno testing, specifically with my motor. Tom already got his done, so we just let Donnie know, here, just take this, do whatever science experiments you need to do with it, and it won't take us long to put it back in. So he's doing all that right now. We stepped up our program a little bit with our partnership with New England Gear Polishing, so we got some extra speed secrets coming in from them. It's so top secret, I'm not even allowed to know what it is, so I can't tell you guys. Sorry. but they're helping us out. I think we're working on a couple of other marketing opportunities as well, but you just never know. Other than that, it's same old homework. Take everything apart, clean it all up, make sure nothing's absolutely busted, get brand new parts of whatever should be replaced, and it should be the same good old car going into 2021.
Well, that's very good to hear. Now, you just said going into 2021. What are your 2021 goals for the season?
Don't wreck. I think that's my number one goal, is don't wreck. I mean, sometimes luck does not always favor your side. Other times, I also tend to step on my own shoelaces, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, I feel like the last few seasons I've been doing better with that. It's just been mostly about like learning some psychology, I guess, if you will, and being able to apply that to myself in the race car. I think that putting effort into that more and more has been something that's been helping me out more and more. So I'm gonna stay on that track, and I think that'll be a good goal. Is keeping to it, seeing where that takes me.
Yeah, that's a very good goal. Now, a lot of people say that the late model division is one of the hardest divisions at Stafford racing, because every week there's always about 8, 9, or 10 cars that could win the race. What do you feel like you need to do to win a championship and win a lot of races?
Oh, no, that's a good question. That one's a good one, because I was just talking about this not too long ago in another thing that I was doing, but there's a theory I want to try out, and this ties in a little bit with the psychological aspect of racing that I touched on just like 30 seconds ago, and that's looking at the entire season as a race instead of every single week as its own individual race. You know what I mean? So it's more like the entire season is one big race. I mean, it doesn't matter if you finish last the first week. What matters is where you end up at the end of the season, cumulatively. Excuse me, that's a hard word to say. But just going through every single one of those weeks. Every single week matters, sure, but what really matters is the cumulative effort. So I think that in order to get a championship in one of the toughest racing divisions, it would have to be to keep your head on straight and go out there for at least a top 3 every single week, because it's really that consistency that's gonna put you on top of the point standings, instead of trying to win every single week and putting way too much risk throughout the entire season.
No, I don't think that could have been said any better. That is the honest truth right there. That's how you got to treat a season. That's how every driver should treat this season, but a lot don't. Now, going on to your car, you drive the number 12. Is there any meaning behind that car number?
Honestly, no. Not really much meaning behind the 12. I mean, the whole history behind it, as far as why I went to it for the late model, was I started in karts in the Wild Thing kart program in the Cubs at Stafford when I was 7, and my number back then was 12, and it was also my sister's. I mean, I wanted to be 3, but I don't know. I think my dad just like already got it made up as 12 off of the assumption that I also used to be a Ryan Newman fan back in the day when he drove the number 12. But yeah, then I told him, oh, I want to be the 3. I want to be the 3. So we changed that for the next year. And I kept that number all the way until the last year we ran the dare stocks, or the street stocks as they're known now. So then in the limiteds, I decided, hey, screw it, I'm gonna run the 92 like Uncle Tom there, because I thought it would raise my cool factor a little bit. It kind of did. I mean, it was all right. But then, going to the late models, I said, I kind of want to retire the 3. I mean, I'm not Dale Senior, so why am I gonna try to beat him? I should just try to be myself, I guess.
Yeah.
And I thought about it. I was like, yeah, let's go back to the original number. Let's do it.
That's very cool to hear. Now.
Yeah, a few different numbers, but
yeah. Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to say to the people watching this video?
Hey, thanks for all the support, everybody, for coming in. Thanks for supporting Stafford, New York Sports Show, and everything that we've been doing at Fearn Motorsports. If you guys want, I'm trying to figure out exactly how I'm going to do this, but I'm trying to do some YouTube things. Wrecker or Checker, you can come check us out too while you're on here on YouTube after this episode. So
yeah, I'll put a link in the description. Thank you, folks. The link to will be in the description below. Once again, this is late model driver Ryan Fearn. Ryan, thank you for being on the New York Sports Show. It was an honor.
Yeah, and it was an honor being on the show for me, too. I've been following you on social media for quite a while here, and it's great to have finally gotten on here.
Thank you. That means a lot. That really does. Thank you.